What's going on, guys? Thursday, January 29th, 12:10. I'm a little late today. Apologies for that. Life happened. Uh, that's really what happened today. You know how it goes. And then, not sure why, but Facebook is acting up today. The transmission to Facebook is much slower than like YouTube. So, but speaking of which, if you're sometimes watching the episodes, whether they're live or some reruns, um, the portion on Facebook will eventually be going away, and we will be moving to a another platform. Just wanted to. I'll flag it in a little bit, but before I do a quick intro, just so you guys know, for those of you that are turning in for the first time, let me just see if I see myself on Facebook. Give me just 1 second, see what's up here. It shows live, but I really don't see myself. I see myself on, no, actually it is good. Seems okay there. Maybe my phone is just not cooperating with me. Give me a quick second. Let me see. It's okay. We'll check later. But quick intro. I'm Marston. I have done photography for the last 17 years, and I'm here every Thursday sharing some golden BBs, as I say. There's no like one way to solve to build photography business. So those episodes are for those of you guys that like know enough about photography and editing, and maybe you have dealt with a client or two where now you want to scale it and build it and set up everything in place, basically like have systems in place, so that the process is repetitive. You can basically build a fully functional business out of that. It's not just a hobby with maybe 3 gigs in a year. It's really setting it up to have consistent inflow of like maybe family portraits, just headshots, maybe doing some photography for like local businesses, eventually move your way up to like corporate gigs for headshots or events, because this is really where the money is, or like product, because you have to understand when you're doing photography for families, even if you're doing photography for seniors, or even headshots for individuals, it's more of a preference. When you're doing it for corporate, if you're doing this for weddings, if you're doing this for product campaigns, that's really where the money is, because it's tied to revenue. They make more money, and they're willing and able to pay you more money. So the game is always to kind of climb that ladder, start small, and then continue growing. Or it's entirely up to you. It's not like one size fits all. You can stay and just shoot family portraits, but you have to have sort of philosophy around it, because even when you're doing family shoots, you don't want to get stuck in the world of like mini sessions for $50 or $70 or $80, because it's just don't ask me how I know, right? I went through this experience. Everybody at the beginning kind of struggles, grabs anything around, but like we have to make sure that you guys are profitable and that you can make money, and there's a way to actually do it with products and kind of presenting, building your brand, building value around your brand, so people are willing to pay more and they're maybe able to invest in products, so you're able still to charge more. So your mini sessions are not $70-$80 or $50, god forbid. At that level, they're more on the 13, 14, 18, $3,000 level. Totally possible. So that's what I'm doing here today. I'm just kind of explaining different things. I'm still, last 2 or 3 episodes were about branding. I'm still continuing to on the brand, because it's very important. Based on when I work with individuals, when somebody reaches out and it's like, hey, I'm here in this spot, I have them take an online assessment. If you guys haven't heard it or know that it exists, I can probably flash something on your screen. Let's see. If I do this, you guys will see proimageacademy.com start. It actually takes you through the assessment. And based on the assessment, then we kind of look at the map and see, oh, okay, so maybe you know photography, maybe you know editing, maybe you're lacking like customer interaction, maybe you need help with business, contracts, legal, pricing, maybe it's the branding that sucks, maybe it's the automation, like the systems behind your business. that that takes care of like email notifications, brand building, funnels, conversions. So there's a lot to cover. So if you go and take the online assessment, I usually reach out and I say, hey, let's take a look at your world, see what you have. We usually hop on a call. I give you some recommendations. There's no sale pitch or nothing. It's just like, hey, here's my recommendation. Here's where I would go. And if you're interested to work further, we set something up depending on how much, whatever, like depending on how much help you need and where you are currently. Then we figure out, something different for you specifically. So it's all about implementation, knowing where you are. It's not like, you sell a course and everybody follows the same thing regardless of where they are. So this is where you do the online assessment if you are interested. And then if I already kind of made an announcement, but like we will be taking lives off of Facebook and we will be moving to a new school community. Same kind of deal, proimageacademy.com/school. That's where I will be congregating first 100 individuals that get in. There's no paywall, nothing. So as I'm rolling out content and testing everything, if you guys are interested, hop in there because you'll get free help essentially. Later on, I may actually flash something on a screen just to show you what it will look like inside the school community. If you feel a little lazy, maybe you're watching on YouTube, you can scan the QR code and you'll see there's school community. There's also an option to send me a DM directly. Don't hesitate because this is the best way for me to like know what people struggle with. Actually, this Canva one was because I've got few. This actually came up in conversation. This came up in DMs. This came up in some of the comments on YouTube, and I figured, you know what, Canva is not like photography necessarily related item, but it's a brand related item, and I think everybody, photographers, videographers, DJs, anybody should have a tool that's easy enough to like just kind of put things together. You can do a lot of it. What you can do in Canva, because that's what we're talking about today. You can do a lot of it in Photoshop. Totally agree. I actually pay for both. I pay for the whatever the photography bundle is, $16, $20 if you're paying, but it's the Lightroom and Photoshop combination because Photoshop, there's so many steps. Some things you can do. Most, I would lie to say most. You can do all of what you're doing in Canva. You can do the same thing in Photoshop. I'm probably missing a couple things, but it's I think Photoshop, a lot of people are intimidated, plus nobody wants to deal with Photoshop, learn a new tool, but Canva is like super easy. And I figured I just wanted to, like, if you're interested, like, should I watch this episode? We're not going deep. I'm just going to show you what I'm using currently, like for the YouTube channel right now that carries 33, almost 34,000 subscribers. I'll show you guys how, like, what level of Canva, how far I need to go with that information to be able to kind of like cater to that audience. Because a lot of times we build this, this fantasy of like, oh, it's probably advanced, and it's like, no, it's not. And that's exactly what I wanted to show you. And a lot of this stuff, if you're already using Canva, probably this episode is probably not for you, so you can skip. If you're not using Canva, or if you're not sure about some features, or maybe you just want to see me go through an example, because that's exactly what I'm going to do today, then just stick around. And another thing, always remember to leave comments. It's the same thing as DMing. Based on the comments, I know where the issues are, where the problems are, where there's like a little kink in the hose, as I always say it, and I can cater directly to your needs and answer your questions. So with that being said, today's topic, Canva, it goes beyond photography. Anybody that has a business and needs to produce something, a thumbnail, a carousel, a content piece, I'll show you exactly what I'm doing it and how I kind of try to simplify my life, because I don't think of myself as like a designer per se. So Canva makes my life easier, and that's what we're going to go through. So let's see if I can bring up the slide here. All right, we see Canva. And just let's see, the typical way I do it, as for those of you that don't know, is I go through the slide and then I add some extra color. So we're starting at the Canva for branding, from templates to thumbnails. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Let me just do this. All right. Master the essentials of sounds so serious. Master, maybe learn or discover the essentials of creating consistent professional visuals that strengthen your brand identity across every platform. The idea here is really to be consistent, right? You don't want to be creating content that looks different week to week. You want to be reusing the same content pieces, literally updating the titles, maybe swapping image. You don't want to you don't want to get involved in the design work because, and I know it from experience, it's really easy to spend hours and hours and hours designing new pieces. And this is exactly how we get to burnout. So that's what we're trying to avoid. And the high level items that I wanted to cover, like what are we going to cover in this one, is basically a template selection. So I'll show you like what I'm doing for YouTube episodes or content pieces. Brand color system, I just wanted to show you like how I set it up, where I keep my assets, whether it's logo or image or color. And then we'll talk about smart duplication. This is exactly like reusing leveraging the same content to make things much faster. And then design refinement. This is where I'm gonna walk you through some basic techniques so you can see like how I'm removing when I'm moving the image in, how I'm removing the background, how I'm sort of dealing with layers. So I'll walk you through it. Let's read the first category. Learn how to choose the right starting point that matches your content goals and saves valuable editing time. Canva already offers a lot of templates. So if you're looking for like a YouTube thumbnail, for example, or Instagram carousel, it already has those content pieces in place, and all you're doing is reusing a design, changing colors, adding your photos, maybe a little bit of text, and you're ready to go. You don't have to kind of rebuild, the wheel, reinvent the wheel from scratch. So that's one. Brand color system. Set up your custom palette once. You can actually set up multiple palettes depending on what you're designing, and then apply it constantly across all designs for seamless consistency. Things always look good within the same color palette, and it looks nice. Smart duplication. Discover when to reuse previous designs versus starting fresh to maintain brand cohesion efficiently. And then master essential editing techniques like background removal and element tweaking to perfect your visuals. Export excellence. In the end, I think I talk about a little bit. There's like a slide dedicated to what happens when you have to like export your stuff out of Canva. Choose the optimal format and setting for each platform to ensure your designs look crisp everywhere. The one thing I really care about in the export is like what I'm exactly selecting, because a lot of times when you have multiple designs, it creates like a zip file. I don't like that. I just export each design individually. Usually it may not be the case for you depending on what you're doing. So that's one thing. And then resolution, I just make sure that its resolution is big enough, because sometimes when Canva defaults to like a YouTube thumbnail, it may give you like a lower resolution file. But let's say you run your content in 4K, then you got to make sure that like the preview, the thumbnail, especially if you're doing like YouTube premieres, that big image is big enough. Otherwise, it'll look a little distorted, a little diluted. So it's just things to remember. But I'll point it out when I actually get to it. The next slide here is actually focusing on, I was trying to figure out like, what is the best way to do it? Like, should I do it a slide and immediately do it in Canva, or can I go through, talk about theory, and then I think to make it more interesting, typically what I do is I go through the theory and then I do the workshop, but I'll give you a taste. I want to give you a taste of kind of what I'm talking about, so I'll keep switching. And if it doesn't work, I may actually, I don't know, change throughout the course of today's training. So the first thing I mentioned before was choosing the right Canva template. Match templates to your content goals. I'll show you quickly what this looks like. Match templates to your content goals. So the right template does more than look good. It aligns with your message and audience expectations. Instagram posts need bold, eye-catching layouts. YouTube thumbnails require clear focal point. Email headers benefit from horizontal balance. So it's obviously different. Depending on the platform, there may be some nuances that you guys may want to pay attention to, but you already have those templates in Canva anyway. So those are easy to spot. Starting with the appropriate template structure saves hours of repositioning elements later. Think about your content's purpose first, then browse templates designed specifically for that format. It's kind of nice because in Canva, when you're selecting a template, usually it already fits within the realm of what you're designing for. So like when, let's say, you have the YouTube video and thumbnail, or you're doing like a cover for your reel or something, or maybe you're doing CapCut stuff and you need like a cover image, or maybe you're just doing an overlay for your video, maybe a little logo or something, a design, maybe you're running a discount, like a seasonal discount or something. You can actually design the template. When you pull it up, you can put the text in, your logo in, and the template kind of it kind of guarantees that things are going to stay within the correct limits, so that nothing is kind of cut off once you put it on the screen. You'll see that in a second. So templates, let me switch over to Canva quickly, and which is this tab here. I just want to make sure you guys see it. So this is an actual stuff that I use every day. If you go to my YouTube channel, if you go to my Facebook profile, because those are my core two. My Facebook profile and my YouTube channel are my core platforms. Can't care less about Instagram or TikTok. Now that they're not important, it's just when you're focusing on 5 platforms from the beginning, and especially in the phase where you're learning, you're going to get lost, you're going to get overwhelmed. So I always say start with one platform. I originally started with Facebook profile, and then move once you're comfortable, like you kind of have a feel for what you're doing, you have a cadence, you have like a week after week, what you need to produce, then move on to the next platform slowly. So in my case, it's just Facebook profile, and YouTube channel is the core. That's just what I'm focusing on. Instagram, I publish there automatically, so I have tools in place. That's where I have content scheduled, so I don't really have to look at those platforms. The content is just being pushed, automatically generated. Most of it is with, like, captions are generated with AI, so it's so much easier. But I'm not going to go into it. This is something that I will be covering in the school community. So feel free, join, and we'll talk about it at one point. Today we're just looking at Canva templates right now. So here, this is the actual stuff. This is what you would see in my world. I'm just going to take you through before we look at my templates. I just wanted to show you, like I mentioned, social media. Maybe you're generating for social media. You click on, and you guys can see it on the screen. You click on social media icon, and then inside here, it's asking you like popular, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and you can also do a separate search. So if I'm thinking of a platform, can I put X? Like if I put X header or X post or X video, you guys can see that it's automatically, just by me typing in X, it's coming up. In this case, I will just click on YouTube. I use YouTube a lot. So even here, you can see like you have a template for a thumbnail, which is just a clear, nothing on it template. There's one for YouTube Shorts. There's one for YouTube Banner. There's one for YouTube video landscape format, and then you have a bunch of other templates for thumbnails. So this is what I would normally pull from. I would just grab one of them. I'm just gonna use an example that I can later on delete, but let me just see. So this looks similar to what I use right now, like this guy where it says how to grow your social media. I don't know if you guys see the pointer. Yeah, you do. So that looks very similar. But if I wanted to grab something else, let's just grab from the bottom here. This is a template for a thumbnail YouTube video, and you can see there's just a bunch of elements. I'm not going to do a lot here, but it's as easy as literally like me going in here and editing text, adding my name, and just clicking on different elements and just deleting them if there's something I don't like. If I want to swap out an image, I could just click on the element. And I know I'm doing this fast, but this is intentionally this way. I just wanted to show you how quickly you can change the template. And then I can go to my brand, and we'll be covering this, so don't get overwhelmed here. I have my brand colors. So I always, for my posts, follow certain criteria, color criteria, like a palette. And this is mostly for my Facebook, for my Facebook posts. So I have my colors here. I want to go back. Give me 1 second. Let me click on brand. Okay, so there's all assets. Okay, so you guys can see I'm on this template right now. If I start clicking on my colors, watch what happens. It will follow my color palette, and it will just update the image, giving me variations of, like, so if you have your colors that you stick with, maybe, your company, maybe you're running, I don't know, black and gold, or, blue and red, or whatever the palette is, you can set them up, and then just simply by clicking on your palette, it'll give you the variation. Super easy. So like every week when you come in, you can get a different variation just by doing this. And if I need to drag a logo, I can just click on different elements on the left. Those are all my elements. This will stay in there. And then if I wanted to add an image, I have images here that I took in 2024, 2025. This year, we'll probably do the same thing. And I can just click on my photos and grab one of my pictures, drag it onto the design. And I'm already skipping ahead, but I can remove the background. And there you go. And the thumbnail is almost complete. So this is very rudimentary, very simple example. And we'll go through building one more later on. But you guys at least see what's happening here. And now if I go to, where do I go to when I want to go back home? Give me 1 second. All right, now I'm back here. I want to close my design. Oh, what happens is, and I catch myself doing this all the time, when you open Canva, when you select the thumbnail that you want to reuse, it actually opens it in a new tab window. You guys cannot see it in this window here, but this thumbnail I just created, this is a new option here, as you can see, and I can, if I don't like it, which in this case I'm not going to keep it, I can go here and say move to trash, and then it stays in trash, and I can always retrieve it if I deleted it by mistake. But that's really what it is. If I close that window, I'm back at my main window here in Canva, and I can then proceed and do another design, whether I'm doing a flyer, whether I'm doing content piece, whether I'm doing, you know the drill. So back to the presentation. So this is how you select the templates. You go in there, and for Instagram, it will be the same thing. Social media, Instagram, and then Instagram story, Instagram post, same idea. And now you have a bunch of templates for Instagram posts. Same thing. You pick a design, you click on it, you use the template, and then you just modify it. So in this case, I'm not going to do the same thing. You guys get the point. But this is where you pick from. For Facebook, same deal. A bunch of designs that you can do vertical, horizontal, depending on what you're doing. LinkedIn, if LinkedIn is your platform, same idea, more kind of professional templates. And a lot of times when you're looking for a template, if let's say I'm just going to select one from the top here, it will open my template here, but it will also give me an option to, let's see, when I click on design on the left, you guys can see as I'm scrolling down, it gives me other ideas too. So, and it's very similar to something that I have already selected. So if I keep scrolling down, and in case I find something that I like more, maybe this image here with the blue background, I click on it, and the template it substitutes the template, and I can just work with this. So so you see how easy it is to select those templates. Now, next slide here was setting up your brand colors. So this is what I mentioned before, but let's just go through the exercise. So let's cover this first. Here in this one, we will be adding your brand palette, which is the color scheme. Navigate to brand kit in Canva and input your hex codes, because you may already have the hex code numbers, or upload your logo to extract colors automatically, which is really, really cool, because you guys are going to see it. Like, I think I'm able to show you an example. If you already have a logo, and let's say your logo, like the one you see in my recording down here, it has already 7 colors. So the second you upload the logo, it creates the color palette for you, and so you can have your regular color palette for your social media stuff, but you can also have one palette created off of the logo. So if you needed to add some like exact colors, it's super easy to match. So apply colors consistently. Use the color picker to select from your saved brand palette. Click any element and choose your brand color in one tap. Create color variations. Save lighter and darker versions of your main colors for text, backgrounds, and accents to maintain visual hierarchy. It's nice to keep the same look and feel as you're presenting your stuff. That's what I try to do on Facebook, on YouTube. You'll see the thumbnails. I have a different thumbnail for regular episodes. I have different thumbnail for my lives. I have different thumbnails for the interview series. So this is exactly how I kind of keep it all the same. It's all cohesive within the same design every week. So now the setting up the palette. If you're in Canva, let me see if I can replicate it. There's an option, and I think brand comes with the paid version. It's $12 a month. I use it because it saves me a lot of time. I don't think, if you're not at the point, if you're fresh, just starting out, maybe you can just recreate it. But I'm showing what works for me now, not telling you what to do. But in case you decided to go with the brand option, you click on brand, and right now I have Image Pro Academy. This is the brand I'm using. This is the drop down here on the left. And I can create a new brand kit, and I can just call it new company just for now, and say create. And then you guys will see I can click on colors. So now new company on the left here is created. I can colors, there's color palette, and I can I add a category, add a palette? And Canva already has some combinations that are like pre-set up for you. So if you don't have an existing one, you can use the plus sign and go with hex colors and match your existing brand as close as you can. If you have the numbers, that's even better. If you don't know, each color has a hex number. There's actually a number associated with the color. So you can look it up. You can actually pull it in like tools like Photoshop or Canva. So you can set it up, match it this way, or you can select from pre-existing palette that they have. So just scroll down, keep scrolling down, see what works for you. Just choose. You can see actually this is something I'm using because I picked it from this list. But if you see something you like, simply click. So many calls, so many choices. I don't know what to pick, but let's go with something from the top. So I'm just gonna go and say, hey, wild orchid, wild orchid. And this way, those colors stay with me. So whenever I will be working with a brand and I go to my colors, oh, I have to change to a new company and colors. This one stays in place, and I can just reuse it every time I'm working with the designs like we did before. So this is how you're setting the colors. Apply colors consistently, color variations. I think we're good here. What happens is when you bring an image, this is something I wanted to show you because I did talk about it. Let me see if I can pull something for you guys. I need a file. Let me see if I can pull my logo. Okay, I have it. It's just a random image. I'm going to pull it in here and let's see what happens. So if I'll say this is my logo, then in my colors, you guys can see that it literally pulled, see the yellow, the orange, the red, purple, right? And the teal colors. If I go here, those are the colors from that logo. So if I wanted to like create brochures or any marketing material, I can simply use this color palette instead of the original one. But it's entirely up to you. It just Canva does it for you automatically, and it keeps everything. Like I said, if you have two different brands or maybe two different marketing strategies with different colors, you can manage it there in the tool. So this is colors, and the same thing here. Let me just take a look at the next slide. Are you going to work or not going to work? What's going on, slide? My slideshow gave up on me. Oh no, actually, oh, that's funny. Wait. Let me see if I can exit the presentation. Wow, the browser died on us. Bear with me, guys. See if I can get it resurrected. Refresh. Can I continue with this browser for now? I can, but my presentation is not there. Okay, exit page. I will quickly go back, see if this works for us. Let me see. Go back. All right, I think we're back in business. So going back, sorry for the delay. Let's go back to the slide, setting up colors. And the next one was duplicating designs for consistency. So this one is super easy, super quick. And what you're doing here is like, there's two questions. Like, when am I gonna, when am I duplicating? When am I creating new? And I just included a couple of key points there for when duplicating. You're creating a series of social posts with the same layout. I reuse it for like quotes. I reuse it for thumbnails. Like I said, for everything I pretty much do on YouTube. But I also, any other designs you'll see, and I'm going to show you what I'm duplicating and how. Maintaining thumbnail style across video episodes, building matching graphics for campaign, keeping format consistent for recurring content. And when I'm starting fresh, it's when I'm launching a new content series or theme. So that's why I have different one for regular episodes, for lives, for interviews, seasonal rebrands or special promotions. This is when you guys are running your Christmas, campaign. This is when you're Valentine's, something around your birthday, which I have one coming up. So something special I need to put together for you guys. And then targeting a completely new audience segment. Pro tip: duplicate designs. Share your brand colors automatically, making quick updates effortless while keeping your visual identity intact. So yes, you're not recreating anything. You're just enhancing, improving, and updating. And this is something I wanted to show you here. So we did talk about, let me just get out of my brand kit here. We talked about my templates a little bit, and here in this view, you guys will see this is the one I created before. I'm just gonna keep cleaning this stuff up. So this one moved to trash as I did before. And this is just something I use for my thumbnail, YouTube thumbnails on all of my videos. And you guys can see there is a button on the right here on the bottom. When I click on a grid view, it actually shows me like thumbnails that I have created in the past. So I can already, like, from the existing ones, if I see something that I like in the past, I don't have to now create from scratch. I mean, technically I can. I don't have to. I can just go to the latest one, for example, and here it's just a different view. So like you can see those are the different episodes. I can just go to the bottom, and if I want to start with this particular design, all I have to do is at the top of this template, there's like a plus, like a dual page, duplicate page, but it's like a two different sheets of paper, and I click on it and it just duplicates the same design. And now it's super easy because I can just click on my photo, get rid of it, click on the little icon, get rid of it, and then I can just update my design, which again, we're going to do the design after I'm done with all the steps. But you can see how easy it is to recreate. And I do the same thing with, I'm going to delete this one just to keep things neat and organized. And then I do the same thing with interview series. So if I have a new interview coming up, I will come here and just grab the template and duplicate it, and then just put a new title, subtitle, new person, their name, and I'm done. And I can just export it. So so you can see how efficient, how fast that is. If I'm doing a Facebook event, same thing. I can just change the background, change the image, and it's kind of the same, episode after episode. And then over time, you just kind of test with your audience and you see what is that they are resonating with. Maybe they resonate with more, like in my case, because, I deal with photographers. I try different things. I try albums. I try equipment. I try business related stuff like IRS. I try images from different events I shoot. Then I go back to technical. And over time, you'll see that some things work better than other things. Sometimes I have things that are related. Like if I do something about camera menu, I may include an image of that. If I do something about lenses, I'll include lenses. So that's really what it is. I just replicate this design for the events, and then so the thumbnails, the events, the interview series, and then I have also another one for my live. So whenever I finish a live like this, I come to Canva. I just take the design, and today's session is about Canva, and I will go to the bottom of this list. There should be stop sounding like everyone else. This was the page 28. This was the latest episode, and I will just replicate it. And today I don't have a title yet. Actually, I do have it somewhere stored, but this one will be about Canva, right? So that's I will actually update the title later, but that's what I do, and then I just export it, and it's ready to go. And if I need to create a new series, like I said, actually. Soon I will be creating something. I thought around my birthday I may be creating like a training for you guys on YouTube. I know that YouTube is offering now like this option of doing courses, and I thought it would be kind of cool to for those of you that are starting or fresh to put together like a few episodes into a mini course. This way you know where to start. So even with like camera lenses, some basic setup, maybe contract pricing, just so I can get you going and start earning money. That would be super helpful for a lot of you. I know that. So I will come here and start from a completely different design. And then, if I create another class, then I'll just replicate the designs here. So, or if the class has, let's say, 5 episodes, I can just come here and replicate my designs. Again, if you have any questions, I'm actually going to take a look here, see what we got, because maybe there are questions. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. All right, I think we're good. All right, so this was that, and now let me close those designs and go back to the slide. And the next thing here was modifying your design. So I kind of went through it already, but I'll take another dive. Let's talk through the slide first, and then I'll walk you guys through an actual update. But modifying the design, this is when we're talking about like removing backgrounds, which I already did. I want to just take another stab, just a little, tiny bit slower, because maybe there are people out there that have not done this before in Canva. Adjusting key elements, click any text, image, or shape to resize, reposition, or modified. Hold shift while dragging to maintain proportions. I'll show you what that looks like. And use alignment guides to keep everything balanced. Layer and arrange, that's an important one. You can make a little adjustments and you can move layers around, kind of like you can in Photoshop if you have used Photoshop. And then fine-tune typography, adjust letter spacing, line height, text effects, small typography tweaks dramatically improve readability and polish your overall design aesthetics. It's really important, especially for things like, in my case, again, it's this YouTube thing where when you're on a small phone, you really are paying attention to one design element and the text. And if you're looking at thumbnail and you have to kind of like squint your eyes to see what you're doing, the click-through rate, which is really important, where people fail, is like if people can't read it on the phone, what's on your thumbnail, chances of them clicking is very small. So that's exactly what I'm talking about here. And let's look at the next, getting a thumbnail design. So I just wanted to take you through a couple of changes that I would typically make to a thumbnail like this. Design a real thumbnail with your brand. Effective thumbnails combine bold text, compelling imagery, and your brand colors. Start with high contrast background that makes text pop. Add your main message in larger, readable font. Viewers should understand your topic at a glance. Include your logo or brand element in a consistent corner position. This builds recognition across your video library. Use faces and emotions when possible. Most folks know that by now, but faces, they increase click-through rates significantly. as human beings, we're wired to respond to emotions, to respond to people. So it's very, very important to consider that. I know a lot of you guys are going to be freaked out, like, I don't know if I can or whatever. Totally get it. I went through the same phase and then did it once, second, third, fourth, fifth time, and like it just became the new normal. So you can totally get used to it. Because it helps. It's always the question, do you want to build a business or do you want to feel comfortable? Because if you want to feel comfortable, business is probably not for you, right? So that's the thing. Remember, your thumbnail competes with hundreds of others, thousands or millions, right? Make it bright, clear, and unmistakably yours. So we're actually going to go through, because I think here we have exporting, which we don't want to get into yet. But let's switch and let's just. I'm thinking, are we picking a new template? Let's pick a new one. So here I will again go to those templates. What do we want to do? Do we want to do like an interview or interview? Let's see, interview. Will it show? No, it's not showing. Instagram. Oh, YouTube here first here, and then let's do something fancy. Can I pull from this one maybe? All right, cool. So very simple design. All I'm doing is just replacing a title, adding my image, maybe adding a, I don't know, episode name or my logo, right? Branding, maybe colors. So what we can do here, and before we actually do it, I'm just going to look, because as I told you on the left here, if you select one design, it gives you like variations of different designs. So you guys can scroll through it, and like if there's something that looks more attractive, you can just pull from that series. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can sit here for hours and like, oh, this one is cool. This one is cool. Just pick something and just work with it. Let me see. Something here at the top caught my eye. So like this one was too black and white for me, and I'm not a fan of black and white, like colors. Color being what is it called? Selective color. When everything is black and white and the color. Not a big fan, so I'm just gonna go with color instead. And now I have an image. I will just click on a girl. So step by step, right? I will click on the person, the image, hit delete. This episode is about Canva. So let's change it. Canva. And then you can click on sometimes in this case, I was able to actually click on the new song. As you move your mouse, the mouse kind of highlights what element is active. So in this case, when I move around, you guys can see how it's highlighting the different pieces. So here I will click on this one and then double click to edit. And I will say quick training. And this is Thursday live training. And you can adjust those elements by simply dragging the frames. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can pull the frame so that it's this white tab that you need to grab in the middle there. And then you just drag it to make sure it fits on one line. So now Canva, Thursday live training, quick training. I'm just making this up as I go. Obviously, you guys will make it to your taste. Then I go to brand. And remember how I told you that you can switch between colors? So I'm going to actually switch to the new company, click on my colors, and see if this updates my this template. You can already see it's applying like the name Canva. If I keep clicking, it's changing that color. This other color is actually coming from this background, I bet. So you can see like when I'm selecting the greens, I can get rid of the greens here, delete, and I can get rid of the purple and delete, and I can probably get rid of that color in the back also. But you can see how I can change it. So if I do Control Z, those colors are now coming back because it's basically an undo action, right? So I will actually go ahead and remove this color. I will leave the purple, kind of matches my brand. And then what I can do is, because it's a live training, I can click on elements to the left. And in my elements, I can just type in live. And let's see what we get. So if I hit enter, you can see graphics, photos. In this case, I'm going to go and look at all the graphics. And if I wanted to include something like a live streaming or something, I can click on it. And the way you adjust it is there's two ways. One way is to just grab a corner and make it whatever size you guys need. And then the other way is when you grab shift and you can almost like cut image. You can see like it's acting a little different. It's cutting into an image either this way or that way. And here I actually have a full version. So you can see how it's working. Same thing here. If I hit shift, I can cut into an image. So it acts a little different, right? And now I actually want to keep the whole thing. So I can put it in the corner. And then next thing, I go to my brand on the left again, and I can include, I'm pretending this is my logo, but same thing, resize it, and I can put it in the corner. And I'm missing a photo of me, of course. I actually have to switch to the Image Pro Academy because in the new one, I don't have any images yet. So here I will go, and from my photos from 2024, I will grab, I don't know, let's just grab something crazy here. This photo of me laughing. And now the image, I simply clicked on it in my gallery there, but I can also drag the image from my computer. And here, when I have the image selected at the top here, there's an option of like to remove the background. Now it's super easy to do in Photoshop as well, but you can see it remove the background, and I can now move my image. I can resize it, right? And it's like, okay, kind of happy with that, but maybe I want to adjust a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit too dark. So when you have the image selected, you can go to edit. There's a little option in the top menu. Click on edit, and then to the left you have an option called adjust. Click on that menu, and it's kind of like you're in Lightroom or Photoshop, like just a bunch of sliders, and you can adjust brightness of that image, contrast, shadows, vibrance. You can adjust sharpness if you like things super sharp. And not only that, if I scroll up and close, the way you close the adjustments is with an X. There is actually, if I have the image selected, click on edit again, there's actually some predefined effects that you can apply to your image. So let's say if I wanted to do like shadow or an outline, I would go here and let me see if I can find outline. So if I click on shadow, outline is one of the options here. And then I will click on the outline, and you can see the black outline. Maybe it's not visible. I can click on the color. It's actually, so you click on the outline and then you click on the color, which is below here. And then I can select any color, let's say white. And that is really it. And if you wanted to like flip the image, there's an option here in the menu. Once the image is selected, you can flip it horizontally, for example. Obviously, what's on my t-shirt would not make sense now, so I'm going to flip it back. You can also change transparency, opacity of that image, so you can move the slider back and forth, and this way you can overlay images, different layers. So I think that's what I wanted to cover here in this one. We have the outline. These I will not touch right now, and that's pretty much it, right? So once I have the thumbnail created, if I ever wanted to come back and like I'm doing another episode and wanted just to change the title and maybe image of me, I will first duplicate this design. So I'm clicking on the pluses here at the top. Now I have the original version and the new version. And I would literally watch this. This is going to be super, super quick because I would just delete my image and I will go here. And let's say next time we're talking about Lightroom, right? So it's not fitting, but I can go to the size here window and click on minus a few times. until I actually get the right size. And now we just moved from Canva to Lightroom, and I can adjust it. I can move it around. All right, cool. And now if I wanted to switch image to something else, I can click on my image, and let's see if I can simply do this. So now I'm going back to my original design. Remember how we removed the image and apply the outline? Let's see if I click on this image and then right click, copy style, and then click on this image here. What it will do is it will save you the time, because it did remove the background and it did apply the outline. The only thing it didn't do is change the size, but I can just resize it quickly, and you can see how fast it was. Like 2 thumbnails in literally like, in literally like a minute, right? So super fast. This is how I normally create new images. And this is not just YouTube thumbnails. This is everything, right? All the content that needs to be created visually, you can knock it out here. Now I'm gonna close this, and you guys can see now it's part of my library. So I'm actually gonna leave it because I kind of like it. I may actually reuse it for something. So that is that. And the only thing in the end is we didn't cover export, and I think I have this slide here for you guys. So a couple things, PNG, if you're saving something and you need to have a transparent background, you need to export as PNG. There's going to be an option there. I'll show you in a second. Use PNG when you need transparent backgrounds or high quality graphics with sharp text and logos. JPEG photos, choose JPEG for photo heavy design and social media posts. Smaller file sizes load faster without sacrificing visual quality. PDF for print, export as PDF when sending designs to print or sharing multi-page documents that need to maintain formatting. It saves differently. It saves as vector graphic. Not going to get into it. It's just for printing. It's better because they can resize without losing quality. And then, believe it or not, in Canva, you can create some transitions and effects and create clips. So MP4 for motion, select MP4 for animated designs and video content, perfect for social media stories and dynamic presentations. We're not going to cover it here because we're already probably close to an hour into this training. So you guys can see we would just burn more time. But the way you would do it is let me go back here. And export, if I wanted to export it now, it's ready to go. You can see that it's page 1, page 2. Page 1, page 2. And my designs are here. Let me just actually go back and kind of reset it. So the tools. Can I make the tools disappear? Elements. Is this better? Design, hide. Can I hide this? I can't. No, I can. Okay, there you go. That's what I wanted to do, just because I want you guys to focus on the design. With the design in place, I basically click on share, which is the top right here, share. And then the thing that I always remember is you can download it to your computer. You have the option of having public link if you wanted to share it with somebody to get feedback. There's other options to go with Instagram, YouTube. I'm not going to talk through it right now, but typically what I do is I just download it to my computer, to my downloads folder. And here's where you're selecting the file type. So I already mentioned there's a JPEG, there's a PNG, there's a PDF, standard and print. So those are the options. There's also, there's other options as well. MP4 video for when you have the animated clips. Normally I have it set as PNG or JPEG. And here's where you have the size. So if you always have to kind of pay attention to, depending on where it's going, if you're not happy, if it looks a little disordered, then you have to make sure that you guys increase the size of your image. In this case, I'm not doing anything, but you can see that I believe sizing is available with the premium option. So you may hit a wall here. But it's nice to be able to control and create quality images, and then let YouTube, let's say, compress it. It always looks better. So that's that. If the file needs to be transparent, like I said, maybe you just do like an image of yourself with a title, but you don't want the background. You just need to click transparent background. That's also every single time you see the crown, that's a premium option. So transparent background, I would opt it. In this case, there's no transparent background. And then here, select pages. Right now, if I hit done and download, it will download the zip file with 2 files. I don't need them. I just need one. So here I typically unselect it and I go, just give me page number 1. And then I go done. And then I say download. And you can see it's downloading and my browser should show like a little, I'm not sure if you guys are going to see it. Probably not. Let me see. It shows me the download folder, the location of where the file was downloaded. And you won't see it here because I'm only sharing the thing, but the file is now on my computer. I can grab it and I can use it in my designs videos, upload it to YouTube or Facebook. So so this is the export. And then the last thing here that I had was assuring quality on export. So I already kind of mentioned that with the slider and the quality. Check resolution settings, preview before downloading. Just make sure everything looks good. Sometimes you're in a rush, you're doing things fast. You download, you download the file, you upload it to Facebook or whatever, but like something is missing or something. So just make sure, visually inspect it. Platform specific sizing. Just make sure every platform, whenever you're creating something, whether it's a header image, hero image, whether it's a thumbnail, whether it's a story image, it has specific sizes. That's why you have the templates in Canva, because when you click on it, it like Canva is making sure that it's the right size. So follow the platform specific sizing, and then test your exports. Upload it. The best way to do it is upload it to an intended platform and just see how it looks. And then once you get the desired result, then you're good. Then you can just continue replicating and working with other files. And that was it for today, guys. I don't have the topic for. I think we're finishing with brand, and I think next thing that we will be looking at is it's actually, I think I'm gonna give it up to put a voting post on my YouTube channel, because we're either going to go the business route or we're going to go the automation, funnel creation, notification. It's like the system behind the business. So we'll focus on one of those. Other than that, just wanted to thank you for your time. If you're looking for me, if you want to DM me, this QR code, if you scan it, you can go back, you can DM me, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me in the new school community. And I think that is it for today. Thank you so much. I know you're paying with time. Hopefully this was valuable. If you have any questions, reach out, let me know, and let's tackle it next time. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.